Welcome to the future. Tech comes alive. AI innovations. Watch us thrive.
All right, buckle up, because today we are diving headfirst into the mind of MrBeast.
And not just the crazy challenge MrBeast we all know from YouTube.
Exactly.
We're talking the business mastermind.
The guy behind the billion-view empire.
Yeah, and he's practically giving us the map, the guidebook with this How to Succeed at MrBeastProduction.pdf.
And let me tell you, this isn't your grandma's employee handbook. This is like...
Oh no, this is raw.
This is like he downloaded his brain.
Straight up.
His strategies for virality, content creation secrets.
And just put it on paper.
Yeah, it's MrBeast unfiltered.
Completely. And that's what makes this so fascinating, so valuable.
100%. Yeah. And speaking of valuable, before we get into the how, let's rewind for a sec. This is MrBeast, the guy who blew up on YouTube.
Pushing every link.
Giveaways, insane challenges.
He tapped into something huge.
Millions and millions of viewers.
And it wasn't just luck. He was analyzing, adapting every step of the way.
Which is exactly what we're going to unpack in this deep dive.
The method behind that MrBeast madness.
Yes.
Yeah.
This isn't just about watching his videos. This is like getting a peek behind the curtain.
The blueprint.
Yeah. Whether you're a content creator, entrepreneur, or just curious about how things go viral.
I'll have something here for you.
We're going to break down the MrBeast algorithm.
And trust me, it applies way beyond YouTube.
Oh, absolutely.
This is about the psychology of attention, and MrBeast's cracked the code.
He definitely has. All right, let's... So he's got this whole system, almost like a
formula.
Yeah, a formula for going viral.
It's crazy how he breaks it all down in this document, almost like he wants other people
to replicate it.
Yeah.
Well, let's test it out then. What's step one?
Okay, so he calls it his virality code, and it's all about these three core metrics.
Hit me with it.
CTR, AVD, and AVP.
Okay, I'm going to need those in English, please.
Right. Sorry. So click-through rate, average view duration, and average percentage viewed.
Gotcha. So basically, how many people actually click on your video, how long they watch it for, and how much of it they get through?
Bingo. It's all about keeping those numbers high, which means understanding how to grab and keep viewer attention.
And MrBeast is, like, obsessed with this stuff.
Oh, absolutely. He says he analyzes every second of his videos.
Every second? Come on, there's got to be some wiggle room.
Nope, he's all about the data.
Okay, then, Data King, why so specific? Why is every second so important?
Because every second is a chance for a viewer to drop off.
Yeah.
To get bored and click away.
Ouch. Yeah, it's a jungle out there.
For real. So you got to hook them fast, which is where CTR comes in.
Yeah.
That's all about that first impression, the thumbnail, the title.
Okay, so first impressions matter. Got it.
More than you think. MrBeast uses this example. He's like, which are you more likely to click on? I spent 50 hours in my front yard. Or, I spent 50 hours buried alive in ketchup.
Ketchup, obviously. Who wouldn't want to see that?
See? It's about creating that instant intrigue, that curiosity that makes people have to click.
It's like he's hacking our brains or something.
Kind of. He's thinking about psychology, about what makes us tick as viewers.
And it's not just about being outlandish, is it? There's a method to it.
Totally. He talks about how even a single word can make a difference.
Really? Like what?
Changing a title from I spent to I survived.
Oh, okay. That changes things.
Right. Suddenly there's this sense of urgency. You're invested in the story before you even click.
That's wild. So much thought goes into it.
And the thumbnail's just as crucial. Think of it like a movie poster. It's got to draw you in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it also has to be honest. It's got to accurately represent the video.
All right. So no clickbait.
He hates clickbait.
Yeah.
Like, imagine this. Your thumbnail is a giant inflatable bouncy castle, right?
I am picturing it. Go on.
But then the video opens and it's just a sad, deflated little kiddie pool.
That's brutal.
Right. Talk about a letdown.
That's going to kill your viewership.
100%. You got to deliver on that promise, which is where AVD comes in. You've hooked them with the title and thumbnail. Now you got to keep them watching.
And that's the average view duration.
Exactly. And the first few minutes are crucial, especially that first minute. He looks at the exact second people start clicking away.
Oh, talk about pressure.
Right. So he has this strategy called minutes 1 through 3.
What's that?
Like in that Surviving in the Woods video, he doesn't just show us day 1. He crams days into those first few minutes.
Oh, to get you hooked. So it's like a highlight reel.
Exactly. And then once you're invested, it's about those 3-minute re-engagements. Remember that video where Carl's watching Josh in the $10,000 Every Day You Survive Prison Challenge?
Vaguely. What about it?
Right when it starts to feel a little slow, bam, something happens that pulls you right back in.
It's like a little jolt to the system.
Totally. He's keeping us on our toes, making sure there's always a reason to keep watching.
Wow, he's really playing 4D chess with our attention spans. Okay, so we've cracked the code on going viral.
The million-dollar question, right?
But what about the actual making of these videos? It can't be all fun and games.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Right.
But MrBeast actually stresses that excitement is key.
Like, if he's not feeling it.
If he's not personally hyped about an idea, it's a no-go.
Interesting.
He trusts his gut on that, knows what's going to resonate with people.
So he's like his own litmus test for good content.
Pretty much.
But there's got to be more to it than just, like, vibes, right? I mean, how do you go from a wild idea to a polished video?
Structure, man. Even with something as, like, off the wall as I bought the world's largest series, there's a method to it.
Okay, so what's the method?
Well, he talks a lot about this always be learning mentality.
I like that.
And he actually recommends this book, The Goal,
Okay.
which is all about finding and eliminating bottlenecks.
Bottlenecks. That sounds a little corporate for the MrBeast world, doesn't it?
Maybe, but it makes sense, right? Like, imagine you're building the world's largest water balloon.
Okay, I'm with you.
You've got 45 days, a team, a whole lot of rubber.
Sounds easy enough.
Right.
Yeah.
But then what happens if the giant custom-built wooden stand to hold that thing isn't ready? Exactly.
Yeah.
Everything's on hold. That's a bottleneck.
So how do you avoid that?
Anticipation. MrBeast is big on this idea of, like, taking ownership for seeing those roadblocks before they happen.
Yep. Constant communication.
Daily check-ins, backup plans. You can't leave anything to chance with these videos,
And if something does go wrong, even with all that planning.
Well, then transparency is key. He has this saying, it's your fault, track the contractor.
Wow. Okay, tough love.
It's not about blame, though. It's about taking responsibility, even if something's out of your control, and figuring out a solution.
Yeah, I can see how that would be important in a fast-paced environment like that.
Absolutely. And speaking of fast-paced, communication is everything, right?
Totally. Especially with those tight turnarounds they have.
Oh, 100%. And he's actually got this whole ranking system for communication.
A system.
Yeah. Higher forms of communication, he calls it.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So, like, quick question, shoot a text, no big deal, scheduling issue, make a call. But if you're about to start filming and the world's largest water balloon has sprung a leak,
Yeah.
in person, everyone drop what you're doing, we got to fix this now situation.
Crisis averted.
Exactly. Right tool for the job, even when it comes to talking to each other.
I like that. So it's all about, like, clarity, making sure everyone's on the same page.
100%. And here's where it gets really interesting. He also emphasizes this idea that creativity saves money.
Okay, explain.
It's not always about throwing money at a problem,
Give me an example.
So instead of just giving away like 20 grand in a gaming video, they came up with a year's supply of Doritos.
Oh, that's genius.
Right. Way more memorable, way more on brand.
So MrBeast.
Exactly. It's creative, it's entertaining, and it probably cost a heck of a lot less than 20 grand.
Okay, that's brilliant.
And it's not just about one-off ideas. He understands the lifespan of a format,
So?
Like take his last to leave challenges, those are huge, but eventually you got to evolve. You got to keep things fresh.
Right. Find the next big thing.
Exactly. He's not afraid to leave a winning formula behind to try something new.
That's got to be scary, though, right?
I'm sure, but it's what keeps things interesting.
Definitely. And what about his audience? He clearly knows how to keep them coming back for more.
He gets that his core audience, teenage gamers, they're looking for something different.
Right. So how do you cater to that while still growing your reach?
It's a delicate balance, but he's nailed it. And when it comes to brand deals, same thing. They've got to feel like part of the content, not just some random ad thrown in.
It's true. The last thing you want is for it to feel like a commercial break.
Exactly. He even showed how this approach actually improves viewer retention.
Makes sense. It's a win-win. Brands get exposure and the content stays engaging.
100%. And I think, what really struck me from this whole document is his vision for the future.
What do you mean?
This isn't just a YouTube channel. It's an empire.
He's building something big.
Oh, absolutely. And he's incredibly generous to the people who are part of it, He rewards their hard work and dedication.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, it's clear he values his team.
So as we wrap things up here, what's the big takeaway from all of this? What can our listeners learn from MrBeast's playbook?
It's about understanding what makes people tick, being willing to experiment, and building a strong team around you.
And not being afraid to, break the mold a little.
Exactly. MrBeast has shown us that success comes from understanding the rules of the game.
And then rewriting them.
Exactly.
There you have it, folks. A deep dive into the mind of MrBeast.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep creating, and keep asking, what would Mr. Beast do?
Welcome to the future, tech comes alive. AI innovations, watch us thrive. Every week we gather insights and fun. AI adventures, the best is yet to come. Join us in this journey, together we